So a big announcement today, the curriculum review from the government is out. So I want to run through some of the things that really caught my eye as a primary school teacher. So for the first time ever, the national curriculum will be digital and machine readable, which sounds a bit fancy, but basically means everything's just going to live online, which is easier to update, easier to link, and will hopefully fit in nicely with brilliant tools like TeachMate. So it should, or on paper, it could make sequencing and resourcing a lot smoother. Whether it actually does, we shall see. So the SPAG test is changing. If it was up to me, I'd probably get rid of it. But it is still going to check the grammar punctuation, but it's going to put more weight on composition and fluency. Basically, can pupils actually use what they know when they write, which I suppose is a good thing. There's also going to be a tightening up on the writing assessment. That's going to be strengthened, and reading will have a bigger emphasis on fluency too, which, all sounds fine. But listen, we know how painfully time-consuming writing moderation is, and it has been an absolute shambles. No consistency, massive subjectivity, and just teachers tearing their hair out over whether a child is secure or working towards. So I don't want anything that's going to make that even worse, to be honest. This bit about citizenship, I absolutely love. It's becoming compulsory. Every pupil's going to learn more about media literacy, being able to spot fake news, all the online stuff, financial literacy, democracy, government, climate education, basically all the life skills we've been squeezing into the odd PSHE lesson whenever we've got time. But students at primary from a young age learn the fundamentals of money, saving, spending, avoiding scams, I think is a really good thing. I also love what they're saying here about oracy finally getting the spotlight. Now, if you've been on any of my training over the past few years, you know how much I talk about the importance of oracy, how for me, creative tech use opens up those opportunities. So a new primary oracy framework's on the way to really boost speaking and listening across the curriculum, which if it's done well, will hopefully allow children to discuss things more performances, just build their confidence, not just endlessly working through Twinkle worksheets. RE is also being added to national curriculum. It's moving from the basic curriculum to the statutory one, acknowledging how important it is for children to sort of understand different beliefs and cultures and be tolerant of those beliefs and cultures. We talk about how the SATs test in Key Stage 1 is staying, but actually they want to encourage more schools to take up the optional Key Stage 1 assessments. Why, I don't know. There are going to be tweaks across pretty much most subjects. Computing has stood out for me. They'll include more AI, data, digital literacy, which I think is really, really important. I also really like the enrichment entitlement, where every pupil should have access to arts, culture, nature, sport, life skills. And they've even mentioned Ofsted should look at how schools deliver it, which won't fill me with any confidence. But if that's implemented properly, I really think it'll bring back some much needed balance. Now, this new curriculum is going to be published in spring 2027, with us teaching it from September 2028. So there is some time, and hopefully with that time, teachers are going to actually be part of the process, feeding back on it. Because on paper, I think it looks all right. Broader learning, stronger foundations, and a bit more of a focus on real life skills. But it will only work if schools get the time, training, funding to make it happen. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to make things a lot harder. But we shall see. Now, I've not mentioned anything about the secondary school stuff because I don't work in secondary. I know plenty of people will be made up with them getting rid of EBAC and changing the Progress 8 stuff. So I'd love to know your thoughts on what's been mentioned, what's been suggested, because, yeah, could it have gone further by getting rid of some of the assessments and just scrapping SPAG altogether? We'll have to wait and see what this new test actually looks like, because I've said forever that the SPAG test is a waste of time because it doesn't look at why you use SPAG terms. It's just always about what it is and, what's the adjective, what's the front adverbial. So if the test can look more at it being applied for effect, that might be better. I'm holding my breath with the whole writing moderation because I hate it at the minute anyway. But, the fact that certain subjects are going to adapt and we're going to put a much bigger focus on children looking out and being able to spot fake news and disinformation online can only be a good thing.